Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Jim and Chuck, who are here on behalf of the Rod and Gun Club. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Very
Good,
well, thank you.
good, good. Well, even though we are on COVID-19 stuff, have you found a little time to go fishing?
Yes, we have.
Good, good. Now, before we get into some of the activities, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Rod and Gun Club and what it entails?
Okay. We're a club that's specifically geared towards people who want to participate in outdoor sports of fishing or shooting.
Okay.
In shooting, people always ask me, what do you shoot? We target shoot at a indoor range called the On Target local range.
Mhm.
And you don't have to shoot and fish to be in the club. You can do one or the other or both if you want to. The club has meetings. We have membership meetings twice a month, and we have charters twice a month. We
So
charter.
may I ask you on the charters, is it a boat that you guys charter alone or with other people?
No, it's just us.
Okay.
And it's a boat called the Sum Fund at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. And it's the first and the third Monday of every month. We leave the dock at 8 o'clock in the morning and we return at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mhm. Mhm. You go to various places?
Yeah. Wherever the skipper thinks that the fish are biting. We've been fishing quite a bit up off of San Onofre, or down. I guess that'd be down, right?
Be kind of
South.
down, yeah. Down south a little bit. Well, that's good. Are the waters still warmer down there these days?
Yes.
Ah, okay. And what have you been catching?
Well, lately on those trips, we've been catching rockfish, which is 37 different species of rockfish. So there's a whole bunch of different things. Most of them have red in them. So
Can you eat those?
yes,
What do they taste like?
well, they call it Pacific red snapper.
Oh, there you go. Well, that makes
they-
sense because I'm like rockfish. I don't think I've ever ordered that.
Yeah, well, they are very good to eat.
Oh, good.
It's
Now,
very,
Jim, you're over there. What's going on?
pardon me?
I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say that what I like about the rockfish, it's a very light white meat that is very flavorful. So it doesn't have that heavy fishy taste that people try to avoid.
Right. Now, Jim, I know you were past president, and now you're the vice president. And it sounds like you've been with the club a while. What have you loved best about it?
Well, it's really the fellowship. You are with people who have kindred spirit. I mean, people who really love fishing and people who like firearms and target shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an opportunity for you to meet people with the same hobbies, if you will. What I like about it in particular is that the charters are private. And so you really are with the same people, a core of people, almost on every trip. And you develop some very interesting and really rewarding relationships.
Right. Now, during the COVID-19, so it sounds like you have been getting some fishing up and running. Has that been recent, or have you been doing it the entire time?
Well, not the entire time, but we had to wait for the Dana Wharfs, their rules and regulations to come out. And they did. We wear a mask the whole time. And we also have available to us hand sanitizer and gloves if we want them.
Sure. Well, that's good. That's good. And let's talk about the fishing gear as well as, maybe firearms. So for instance, if someone didn't have either one, what would you recommend?
Well, for fishing equipment, what we do is we have a pretty much a stockpile of our own.
Okay.
And what has happened is people, when they pass away or they move to another area, we get their equipment donated to us very often.
Okay.
Now, it's not all top notch, not all brand new right out of the store. but I've been in the rod building business for a long time.
Mm.
So what I do is I take the rods and I make them look new.
Oh, that's
Uh, I will replace the guides if they need to be, and put new finish on them and that kind of stuff. So I do the same thing with the reels. I take the reels completely apart and refurbish the insides.
Mhm.
So, and I put fresh line on them. So if somebody needs to have, you know, a rod and reel to go on one of our fishing trips, I'll let them use one of ours.
That's great.
All of that equipment is for sale too. So
Oh, okay. Okay. And it's all deep sea stuff, right? Ocean?
no, we have a lot of freshwater stuff too.
Oh, you do. So you don't just fish in the ocean, you fish in lakes too?
Yes, we as a group, we have not gone to any lakes recently.
Okay.
It's been mostly fishing offshore because the tuna fishing has been so good.
Right. Right.
If
So
I could, if I could comment on the program that Chuck is talking about, one of the things that we needed to do was answer the question for people who have been basically in corporate America working, and all of a sudden they've retired and they want to get back into fishing or target shooting. And in particular on the fishing side, we've answered the question of how do I get started again?
mm,
Then go to a local tackle store and spend a huge amount of money on fishing equipment that's not really applicable to the type of fishing that we do in the charters.
mhm.
Go to Chuck, and Chuck outfits you with exactly what you need at a minimal cost, a fraction, probably 10 to 15% of what it would cost you. And then we provide kind of some expert guidance both through the crew as well as those of us who've got a lot of scar tissue from fishing all these years, and
Uh-huh.
provide the guidance that people need to get restarted
Right.
or start up if they've never done it before.
Exactly. And that's nice to know. And especially when you said, hands-on instruction. I think that's important because many people might be fearful or, especially now they might be a little nervous, but it's nice that you said that you have masks and gloves and things like that. And then also I think something I had mentioned earlier is, you really don't want to have to go out on the half dayers, not knowing people, but you guys do it as a charter. So you kind of know everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of a really nice, like Jim said, fellowship kind of a thing. Because as we're on our way out to our fishing spot or back home at the end, you sit down and have a conversation with everybody.
Right. Right.
At our meetings, we teach a little bit of some of the finer points. We have, for instance, we have a class on knot tying. So there's about a half a dozen different knots you have to be pretty versatile with to be able to fish.
Right.
Go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
We also go into what baits to use, because you don't want to be fishing for something that'll eat sardines and you throwing, squid at them. They might not want that.
Absolutely.
And the other thing we've started doing is we have a pretty comprehensive list of subject matter experts
Oh, good.
that we bring in to provide tutorials, lessons, and then interact with the people. And they bring tackle and things of that nature sometimes. And we find that is really beneficial because you're learning from the real pros.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So when is the next trip?
Well, we have a day and a half trip coming up in September, the 15th through the 17th.
Oh, that sounds like a good one. Are you guys heading out further than you normally would?
Yes. We'll be going probably as far as San Clemente Island.
Oh, okay, great. And
About 60 miles or so. We load up with bait and take off. You can get all your equipment ready to go and everything. And then there's a bunk room down below decks. And you can bunk out in the bunk room. And it's set up for COVID-19.
oh, nice.
With little curtains, and we don't have people in every bunk. So it's spread out. So it complies very nicely with it. 5 o'clock the next morning, we start fishing. And we'll fish till whenever it gets dark.
Wow.
Our main target species there are tuna. The bluefin tuna has been really, really good the last few years. But the limit is 2 a person. So once you catch your 2, you're pretty much limited into what you can do. But we do try to fish close enough to the areas where there are other things too. There's a, yellowfin tuna. You can catch 10 of those, I think. Isn't that right, Jim?
Yeah, 10. Yeah.
And there's Dorado too, the mahi-mahi.
Oh, yeah.
So we catch those, and California yellowtail. We catch all that stuff.
That's awesome. I love everything you're saying. You catch it, I'll eat it.
Okay. All right.
Now to further answer your question, the next charter though is the 24th of this month. That's the daily charter. That's the one that goes from 8 a.m. as Chuck was pointing out till 3 p.m. So that's August 24th.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. Now, Jim, I wanted to ask you, tell me what's your favorite dish with the fish that you catch?
Oh, that's real easy. It is Parmesan crusted rockfish.
Ooh, yum.
So,
That's awesome.
Flour, then egg, then into a mixture of 50% panko, 50% Parmesan cheese, then cooked either in an air fryer or cooked in some light canola oil or something in a skillet.
Yum. That sounds good. How about you, Chuck?
Well, I like almost the same thing, but I like the ground macadamia nut.
Oh, gosh, you guys are speaking my speak here. This is crazy. Nice. Well, this is really good information. I don't recall that I've ever met you guys before and talked about all the great stuff you guys do. Sounds exciting. The weather is really going to start getting pretty warm here over the next few weeks. So I'm sure you're going to be, a little toasty out there, but I'm sure you bring all your sunscreen and wear your hats and
It
go.
does run about 10 to 15 degrees cooler on the water.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Excellent. Well, next time we have you guys on, hopefully it'll be in the studio and you can bring me some of those delicious items you just mentioned.
We will do that for sure.
Count
Or
on
you
it.
can come out with us and catch them for yourself.
Oh, maybe someday.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you both. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Meet you
you.
too, Lisa.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.